Hello to all the parishioners of St. John the Evangelist in Clonmel. It's Father Joe, and I wanted to say welcome home. Soon we will all be back here in the church to celebrate Mass together. Bishop Kemi has announced today that he will be reinstating the public celebration of Mass on May 6th. I will be out of town this week from May 4th through May 8th. So the first public masses here at St. John in Clonmel will be the weekend of May 9th and 10th. And those will be our regularly scheduled masses, 5:30 p.m. on Saturday and 8 and 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. I would like to just review a few things with you about returning to Mass at this special time, this very unique time. The first thing is that anyone who is concerned about their safety should stay home, and it's okay. The bishop has continued to extend his dispensation from the obligation to go to Mass. So if there's any concern, any worry, just any fear in you, then you should take that opportunity to not attend Mass. For those of you who do stay home, we will be offering Mass posted online as we have been doing, so you will continue to be able to watch Mass from home. And there's some people that should stay home. So those who are quite a bit older and whose health is a bit fragile, they should stay home. And we will pray with you and pray for you here on your behalf. That becomes our job to pray for you. Anyone who has some sort of health concern should also stay home, as to not complicate that if they were to contract something by going out. And then even people who normally are well but may not be feeling well should not come to Mass. They should stay home. For those who do choose to come to Mass beginning on May 9th and 10th, there are some things you should be aware of. First, our church will be limited to 75 people in the church itself. So that includes me, that would include other people who are assisting with Mass as ministers. So 75 people will be all that we can hold in the church. Beyond that, the ushers will be instructed to send people over to our parish center, where we will have seating over there, all set up at a nice, safe 6-foot distance from one another. I believe that with the use of our church and the use of the parish center, we will be able to accommodate our normal crowds every Sunday with our 3 masses as normally scheduled. Communion will be distributed both in the church and in the parish center. So even if you are in the parish center watching Mass, you will also receive communion. In the church, every other pew is going to be taped off. You will know not to go into those pews because they'll be taped off. And that way you'll know where to sit based on that. There will be an usher at the door, and we will be limiting. We won't have the number of ushers we've had in the past, but we will try to do it with just one usher at the door of the church and one at the door of the parish center. They will open the doors for you. You should avoid touching as many surfaces as possible. So by having them open the door, we only have one person opening the door for everyone. And then at the end of Mass, I'm going to ask the ushers to dismiss everyone by row so that we avoid creating clusters as we go outside. Now, the question of Mass has been asked of me. I will be required to wear a face mask only during communion. The rest of Mass, I won't have one on, but I'll be at quite a bit of a distance from anyone. But during communion, when people are coming close to me, I will wear a face mask. You are encouraged to bring your own mask and to wear it during Mass, just for the sake of safety. For those of you who may not have a mask, Our Mission Society generously stepped up last week and started making masks, and we're hoping to have 300 masks available, and those will be for you to take, and then you will be able to take those home with you, and you can bring them back each time you come to Mass. The issue of hand sanitizers was also asked of me, and I would encourage all of you to bring your own hand sanitizer to Mass. It makes it easier if you can provide that. It can be difficult to find enough hand sanitizer for hundreds of people. So we are in the process of ordering some. We're trying to get some here by that weekend when we open, but I would encourage you to bring your own. The ministers at Mass, so this would include the servers and the readers and the cantors and musicians and whatnot, we will be keeping all of those to a minimum so as to maximize more people being able to attend Mass. When you're coming up for communion, there you will see that there's tape on the floor that is at a 6-foot interval. And this is also to remind us of that need to keep back at 6 feet to unnecessarily be too close to people where we might pass germs on to other people. For communion, I am leaving it up to you whether you receive in the hand or on the tongue. That is your choice. For our collection, we can't pass the basket because again, that's a surface to be touched. So we will have a collection basket at the entryway of the church and at the parish center so that you can drop off your tithing for the week, and we will pick those up and collect those as we normally do at the entrances of the church. After every Mass, the church and the parish hall will have to be disinfected as much as possible. So I'm going to be asking people to volunteer to wear gloves and masks and to help disinfect all the surfaces that have been touched regularly, such as the pews, the seats of the pews, the backs of the pews, even the kneelers, other surfaces such as door handles or the restrooms. All of those we will have to do our best to disinfect them between every Mass for your safety. Now at Mass, you will also notice some other changes. There will be no Bibles in the pews, no hymnals in the pews. You will not even find the missalettes in the pews or in the entrance of the church. All of those are going to be removed because they are yet another surface which multiple people would be touching. So the music at Mass will be carried out as normal by our pianist and organist and our cantor and myself. But for everyone else, you will not have a hymnal to follow along. So we will do our best to sing music that is familiar to you and your family so that you can sing along. We will also use a Mass setting that you know well. We'll go back to ones that we are familiar with for everyone to participate. I'd like to just conclude by reminding all of you that really it's about coming home. Yes, there'll be lots of kind of strange things, pews roped off and markings on the floor and nothing in the pew for us to pick up and join in. And it will seem weird. There will be some strangeness to it. But ultimately, we get to come home and we get to receive Jesus in the Eucharist, the most important things in our exercise of our faith week in and week out. I'd like to remind you of two major goals. The first is that we can bring you the sacraments. And second, that we are aiming to keep you safe at all times and to prevent the spreading of the virus in our community. Our community in Clearwater has already been ravaged by this virus in a nursing home. I pray every day for the repose of the soul of those who have lost their lives and for those who are suffering with the virus or who have suffered with it. And now I'd like us to be diligent and attentive so that we do not unnecessarily spread that virus further. I welcome you. I'm excited to have you home. and it'll be a great rejoicing weekend to have everyone together. God bless.